Good evening, Glasgow. Hello. Yes, so we all dressed right from the top. I am from London. Yeah, but I'm not English. Yes, well, good. God, we've established that fact. Brilliant. So look, I am Salma, and I will tell you this, is that I'm really glad the summer is over. Yeah, seriously. What were those race riots about? What were they about? They were terrible. But the brilliant, the funniest video I did see was a woman shouting at the police going, "Oh, I'm not a racist. Oh, I'm not a racist, because my sister's a lesbian." Now, with that level of intellect, I think we're going to be all right. Now, speaking of diversity, right, I understand why some of you lot are invited to one of these diversity training days. But me, by my colleague Muna, who's a so-called ethnic. Now, I can say that, you definitely can't. And she gathered all our white colleagues in a room, a bit like this. And she comes in the room, right, and she sniffs the air, and she's like, "I can smell a racist." And she looks at me, the other ethnic in the room, and she goes, "Salma, can you smell a racist?" And I think, finally, a witch hunt I can be part of. So I take a deep breath in, right, and my white colleagues start tensing up. Bums clenched on the seats. Bit like this guy here. But you can unclench those bum cheeks, right? Because I wasn't smelling you lot. I was remembering my school days and the smell of my first crush, Jamie. Oh, or as we used to call him, Jamie the racist. Yeah. Because to be fair to him, he was a bloody racist. But alhamdulillah, he smelt so good. He smelled of Lynx Africa. That's an ironic scent choice, isn't it? For a man who's all about white power. His mum's stolen silk cut cigarettes and shepherd's pie. It's the trifecta of English whiteness. Yeah. Look, speaking of racists, I am actually married to a white man. Yeah. For my sins, yeah. It's a bit difficult, right? Because I'm a Pakistani ex-Muslim, now married to a white Irish Catholic. So I'm not sure how this whole sin thing works, but through this marriage, I'm atoning for all of my sins at once, and the sins of my ancestors. Now, I'm not saying all white people are racist. But when my husband, Sean, pisses me off, I call him the great white bastard. It's like he's to blame for all of the racism in the world. Like, mixed race marriages, you know what I mean? They have their unique challenges. I met Sean's parents for the first time in a pub at 11 a.m. Yeah, because my father-in-law is an alcoholic. And I think he was trying to impress me, come and meet me in the office, which is what he calls the pub. Now, the concerning bit is Sean's aunt and cousins have died from drinking. But what I don't understand, thank you. A few deaths in the family there. Welcome, I'm sure. But what I don't understand, right, is after their funerals, we go to something called a wake, where you drink. So I'm like, this family's got a problem with alcohol. Bigger problem, they don't understand irony. And I think Sean married me, a Muslim, right, as a way to escape the alcoholism in his family. But what he didn't realise, as an ex-Muslim, I'm doing 7 people's worth of drinking here. Get in there. Right, so I meet Sean's dad, right, and has the weirdest display of unity that only a drunk man can think of. He put on an Irish folk tune on the jukebox called Pakistani Pat. You're in shock. Imagine how I felt. I know what you're thinking, right? There's no way on Allah's green earth is there an Irish folk tune called Pakistani Pat. Believe me, there is. I've heard every cringe-inducing word. Stop looking on Spotify. I have got it on my list, actually, to be fair. So let me explain Pakistani Pat, right? Written in the 70s, right? It's about a man with Pakistani and Irish heritage. It's written in the 70s, so no diversity training day, right? And by the way, don't expect me to sing it. No, seriously, my Irish accent is so bad, it sounds Jamaican. It's a whole other level of racism we don't need, is it? And I'm so, just to let you know, Glaswegians, you are bloody brilliant, because I did that little joke in Edinburgh yesterday and I had one woman say to me, "Sing it! Sing it!" And I said, "Spot the racists." Now, look, we've established, right, Sean's family's a nightmare, right? But my family's even worse. Okay, they are Muslims. That's not the reason, you Islamophobes. Right? No, it's because they're hypocrites. They're hypocrites. And the reason, and I don't know if you know much about Islam, right? It's on the spectrum, much like sexuality, less chlamydia. Right? I left Islam because of my devout brother. His name's Abbas, so we've nicknamed him a bastard. And that's because he uses Islam to justify his shitty behaviour. Now, that's not exclusive to Islam. Look at the Catholics. They use Jesus as a way to sleep with children. It's always quite fun when a female comedian does a little pedo joke, isn't it? One for representation there. The ladies are laughing, and there's a knowing laughter there. Yeah, you know, look, families are really, really strange. And the thing is, my brother, right, he criticises me for not following a strict halal diet. But then behind my back, he's stuffing his face with McDonald's hamburgers. And he justifies us by saying that McDonald's, we don't know how much meat is in those hamburgers to know whether it's halal or not. And when I found this out, I was like, Jesus Christ almighty. And my dad said, "Wrong prophet." I'm allowed to do that accent, just to be clear. I am allowed to do that accent. No, like Sean, you know, I took him to my sister's wedding, and he got to meet my cousin. Yes, my first cousin, the one I was destined to marry. And Sean felt really good about himself. He was like, great, this union is like one step up from inbreeding. And he got asked that uncomfortable question. You lot like to ask us lot, where are you from? You know, so my cousin was trying to work out what quality of white man he was. Yeah, you see, for Pakistanis, the right kind of white is one who's white on the outside and Muslim on the inside. So he says to Sean, "Are you Algerian?" "No." "Moroccan?" "No." "Scottish?" "No." "English?" This is the point that Sean gets really offended. I step in and I'm like, "No, he's Irish." Yeah, and my cousin, no word of a lie, shakes his head and goes, "Ooh, dirty, dirty white." I told you my family's a nightmare. But I was so bored at this wedding, right? I was so bored. I decided, right, to order a bottle of Merlot in front of my mum. She was so bored, guys, she was contemplating drinking it too. Right, I'm going to wrap this up a little bit. Who is, I'll leave you with this, right? Who is childless here? Fucking hashtag living your best life, aren't you? My hashtag is I hate my children. Because they are weak pussies. Give you a recent example. Our kitten got sick. Can you make it better? No. Check the No Frills pet insurance. Costs 15 grand to keep a kitten alive. When you know you can get a new one for 150 quid. Right, so there I am with my 3 week children and around our dead kitten's grave. Only one of them is crying. They're pathetic. I got a glimpse into the future. It's my funeral and only one of them is crying. So I've decided I'm going to leave a written confession when I die, and it's going to say, I could have saved that kitten all along. I just didn't. Cry on that, you bastards. I've been Salma Lyons. Thank you very much.